Hello, my friends, and welcome, welcome, welcome to Luckee Studios. I am so excited because we're painting some pumpkins today that are going to be totally amazing, and you're going to love this paint shop so much. We're going to have such a blast. Guys, my name is Suzee Cline-White. Again, coming at you from Luckee Studios, of course. Guys, here's what we do. I'm gonna go over really quickly what we're gonna need to create this amazing painting, and then we're just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna paint right here in front of you, and you guys are going to follow my lead, or at least be guided by what I've done, okay? So first off, guys, I'm painting today on we typically paint on canvas, right? But a lot of times I paint on like a heavy cardstock paper because it's space saving, it's time saving, it's easy to find. Plus, it's very economical, right? And you know, you can't always have 10,000 canvases stacked around. You just can't. So sometimes I grab it. This is like a tan paper, which we're gonna work on today, which is something new. It's called a toned tan, but I'm really loving it. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it works for us. If you're gonna use canvas, we're gonna use like an 8x10. You wanna go boom, real big. 16x20 will be perfect, and they're easy sizes to find for you guys, okay? We're gonna grab some things to clean up with in case we have a mess. I have some towels. Paper towels are also perfect. I just usually use these just because I don't like to create a lot of waste. If you paint a lot, that's the thing, okay? A cup for water, of course, to clean your brushes. I have a palette, but you can also use a paper plate or a plastic plate, something like that. I'm gonna be working on a tabletop today, which is not typical, but I do tell you guys, different options work for different times. Floor standing easel if you prefer, tabletop easel if you prefer. If not, if you like working on top of the table, which I do, please secure the area, as I like to say. Make sure that you put down a paper or a plastic, just something to make sure you don't get your table messed up. The paint that I use is water soluble, but it will take some scrubbing to get off, okay? So it's just better if you just get your area set up perfectly before you begin. I usually wear clothes that I am used to wearing when I paint. So if something happens and I get a little paint on it, it's not a big deal. Just don't wear your Sunday best. If you have an apron, that is awesome as well. Guys, we're gonna need some brushes today. I always tell you, bring a couple little ones because your relationships with your little brushes are super, super important. They will all treat you differently at different times. So I'm just grabbing like a thin and maybe like a flat medium, okay? And then I always have a big one. Big ones we usually use for heavier areas, bigger areas. So this is gonna be our big brush today. Okay, that's just for when we do like background work or filling in. Guys, we are going to use, and here's the thing, I always forget one thing, but hopefully I'm breezing through this intro. So I'm going to not forget anything today for the first time. Guys, we're gonna need some paint, okay? So I'm gonna briefly and briskly tell you the colors that we need, but I will encourage you to really think outside the box on this one. This painting is super fun, but it really has a lot of room for interpretation. So I would love for you guys to pick some colors that maybe suit your decor, suit your needs. If you wanna do all orange and traditional, I'm okay with that. But I'm gonna give you kind of a listing and a rundown of what I have going on. And if you want to add or subtract, that's perfectly fine. I am not a strict teacher. I would love to see you create and think outside the box. I am going to be using, of course, black and white, which is a typical, we usually use those. Red, orange, yellow. Teal, if you have a teal or a blue, a light blue, I would encourage you to have something like that on hand. If you do not, we can always make a light blue out of a dark blue and a white. Some green. So if you have like some kind of a light green, or we can create a light green with a green, a yellow, and a white, okay? And that's pretty much it. If you guys want to add some different things, please feel free. Purple, it's not on here, but I would enjoy seeing it. I'm just saying. Guys, the brand of paint that I like to use is called Apple Barrel. It's actually a Plaid product. Do you see it? This is what I use. I've used a lot of acrylic craft paint in my day. This is actually the one that I do prefer. There is a preference there for me. It's not that I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, well this is the one. No, there actually is a tried and true preference for me. It is very easy cleanup. It is water soluble. It is fast drying. It is easily blended. Plus you get a lot of bang for your buck. You can get these big bottles. They're very readily available at your local Walmart, believable. Or you can find it on Amazon, guys. So how convenient is that? That's two of the most convenient places on the planet for any of my friends that are painting with me across the US. So check that out. So I'm thinking that sounds good. If you need a piece of chalk to sketch with, I would grab a piece of chalk, colored preferably if you're working on a white canvas. And did I hit the highlights? I think that I did. All right, guys, I believe we are ready to begin. So let's go. Okay, guys, so here is how we are gonna start this little baby today. We are going to we're gonna do the pumpkins first and then kind of fill in a background, okay? Usually we do the background first, of course, but we're gonna actually start with the pumpkins themselves, okay? We want the colors to be really kind of vibrant, and sometimes you lose it when you do the background first, okay? So I'm gonna grab my small brush, okay? And we're gonna do some outlines, okay? I'm gonna do them in black, okay? But feel free, if you have chosen another color, to go ahead and use that color. But that's what I'm gonna do first, okay? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna start at the bottom, middle, and top, okay? Making sure that I'm kind of judging and leaving space for each pumpkin as I go, okay? So I'm gonna start with this middle piece right here, all right? Middle piece, bottom pumpkin. Now guys, this one is fun because it's a lot of different colors, a lot of shading. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of get a rough shape in here first. Let our black dry because the black's just really gonna be a guideline for what is to come. All right, so we've got, really what we do is we're just adding to each layer. We add to the pumpkin, okay? So this is our bottom layer. This is our bottom pumpkin. We're gonna make this is, I mean, I've seen so many like this year, have you not? The stackable pumpkins. I had some of my own, fantastic. They look so cute, all different colors. So this is really just, you know, super, super fun. And just, you can really see these anywhere. I hope this is a trend that continues, guys, for sure. So we've got our big one. Make sure, like, when you're getting down to the nitty over here, I'm gonna kind of make this a little bit smaller, right? These kind of fancy pumpkins are all kind of the same though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not like a normal pumpkin that we're used to seeing anymore. They're more flat, definitely, okay? So this is our first one. This is a good shape, I'm liking that. We're gonna build on this, okay? But of course, it's not gonna be as wide. So we're going to do another one. I'm gonna start this one about right here, okay? Remember, they're gonna be a little bit different, each one, okay? You wanna make sure. I usually have like a thing for floppy stems on my pumpkins, okay? So that's like a huge thing for me. I love a long whimsical stem. So I'm gonna leave a good amount at the top to create that, okay? If you like a stumpy stem, that's fine too. All right, so just make sure, we're gonna fill this in with a little shading. This one is really a good one for learning about different colors and just how to play and have some fun with some shading. All right, so I'm thinking that's probably good right there. I might give this little baby one other side right here. And again, guys, this is really just kind of judging where our pumpkins are gonna be. Okay, then we got one more. This is gonna be the big daddy. Should we call it that? The big daddy? We will, okay. So this is gonna be a little different because we're gonna see the entire shape of the pumpkin, okay? Actually, let's bring these up a little bit more. Guys, honestly, here's the deal. We just wanna get the shapes right. We'll get the shapes right first, and then we will make so much more of an impact with our colors. Okay, so we've got pumpkin 1 and 2. Just kind of get it where you like it. I didn't really like how those last couple little bumps turned out. Remember, all pumpkins are different. Each pumpkin according to his own, right? All right, now let's do this one at the top. This one's gonna be a little bit more detail, okay? Because we're gonna have the whole body. All right, so we're gonna start, of course, with that center one. I'm leaving room for, of course, my whimsical top, which I enjoy. Are you a stumpy stem person or are you a whimsical stem person? So now we're gonna do this one a little bit differently because we want it to kind of be the topper, you know what I'm saying? So we have to show a little bit more of the pumpkin than we do on the others, but we still want it to look like it goes. This is, again, like I said, guys, we can be very rough with this because we're gonna cover up, you know, we're really just getting in there with this as a guide. You may also, of course, as I suggest in the past, sometimes, I like you to be daring and get right in there with the paint, but also I like for you to be a little, you know, if you're like really, sometimes I see you perfectionists out there. I see you. You like to sketch it out first? Please do. Feel free. Don't feel like you are at any point married to any type of thing that we do here. I want you to feel comfortable in your work. So if you want to sketch it out first, I'm okay with it. All right, so then we're gonna grab here. This is gonna be the top of our pumpkin. Now are you ready? Because, you know, I had to get a little crazy. If you like a stumpy pumpkin, you do not have to follow suit with me. But I kind of enjoy creating a little bit of a whimsical top, okay? All right, so what do you think, guys? Are you feeling good about our shapes? I feel pretty good about it. I feel good. Feel like we're ready to add some color? I think so. All right. Honestly, I'm gonna switch brushes here. I'm gonna get our middleman. Down below should probably be dry first. We're gonna go dark up to light, okay? So what we're gonna start out with, I'm gonna start out with some orange and red, okay? So we're gonna, ooh, I think I grabbed a little, I think I got a little different color in there, guys. Did you see that? But, you know, it might work out for us. It might be okay. Oh, because you know what? I did get a little green in my orange, but whatever. All right, so I'm gonna get in here. We're gonna do some kind of dark colors here. I'm gonna use a little red and a little orange together. Guys, the fun thing about these classes is you can always do these at your own pace. I am very pausable, which is fun because you can really, really do it at your own pace. Like if you have to get up and you have to go run an errand and come back to this, I will still be here, surprisingly enough, at the same spot that you left me, right? All right, so we're just gonna go back and forth Guys, play around with this. I know that I'm giving you kind of direction on what to do here as far as like, okay, so we're gonna start with some red, orange at the bottom. We're gonna do like a peachy orange in the middle. We're gonna do kind of some greenish, tealish at the top. But here's the thing. I have seen so many colored pumpkins this season that you could get away with just about anything. Adding some different tones is just gonna make this even more authentic and even more your own work. So you don't just have to stick to where I'm at, what I'm doing. I wanna see you really kind of blend some crazy colors together. Even honestly, like right here on the end where it's a little darker and I kind of left that, that's really cool. And I'm kind of liking it. So sometimes you can grab a color and you get it by mistake. I do this often. I do this very often actually. And then I'm kind of impressed. And I'm like, wow, that was probably a happy mistake. See, and you guys think Bob Ross was kidding. He wasn't. He was so serious. Happy little mistakes, because I don't really think that they do exist in our painting life. No mistakes. It's just, it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna grab in a little more in there. This is our darker orange. And you see, I still grabbed a little bit of that green. My green kind of bled over into my palette onto the orange. So, but you know, guys, grab it. Because you know, you've seen that too. You've seen some orange pumpkins dabbled with a little green. I'll grab a little red, maybe too much red. You can always let it dry and come back to it. Right? Yes. All right. As you go through this, I feel like this is one of these paintings where you're just going to really, gonna feel. You guys hear my babies? There they go. They're here. There was a car out front that beeped the horn. I guess they thought that they were beeping for them to come out, but they didn't. No, it's not true. Maybe one of them has a hot date. Guys, this is one that you can really get involved in, one that you can really take your time with. And honestly, it's something about painting pumpkins is really soothing. And I don't know if it's the shape or just how much you can get in there with so many colors, and it just, I don't know, there's something about it. There's something about it that really, I don't know, kind of speaks to me a little bit. I mean, there's so, like, see, look, even if we add a little yellow, shh, don't tell the teacher that I did that. I am the teacher, just kidding. Like, see how you can kind of give a little bit of a lightness there with just a touch of yellow, even though this is our darker layer, blending different colors. It makes it so fun. You can get super creative. I do not want you to stick to just one single idea, because here's the thing. If indeed you put some color on there that you do not approve of, and you're like, I wish I wouldn't have done that, here is my words of wisdom. You let it dry, baby. Let it dry. And then we can come back and you just cover over it. There's nothing to be said. Do you know how many times that I have painted over paintings? So many. I mean, I've taken complete parts of paintings and completely painted over them because I went too big or I went too small, you know? It's all good. All right, so I'm liking the bottom layer. What do you guys think? Good? All right. Next up, I'm gonna do the middle layer. Middle layer is kind of peachy. So I'm gonna take my orange and mix it with a little white, okay? And we're gonna do that first, but I'm also gonna highlight it. I'm keeping a lot of the black on this one. I kept a lot of the black on the bottom one too, just for the edges. Gives it like some drama. Okay, but we're gonna get some peachiness on this one. I've seen a lot of these colored pumpkins this season too. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. There we go. Oh yeah, all right. What do you guys think? Is it orange enough? I'm not sure. Looks like a creamsicle. You think? Looks good. All right, so we're just gonna creamsicle. The middle we'll call creamsicle pumpkin. I don't know if it's a technical term. It should be. Just have a little bit here and a little bit there. It's looking pretty nice. Maybe we'll get a little orange in there. If you cover up a lot of the black, no big deal. I'm actually going to try to cover up a little bit more of the black. Looking good. I'm feeling good about it. What do you think? Cute? Love it. So looking good on there. Maybe a little orange and a little more on the ends. I don't want these to be too void of color, but we do want them to be a little bit lighter, right? So just keep playing around with that for a sec. Good, but guys, I'm also gonna clean my brush here real quick, and we're gonna take a little teal and just wherever we feel, like maybe just a little touch. It makes this kind of interesting effect, okay? This strange combo may not be for you, but it kind of gives a very different kind of approach to this painting. Not something that you would be aware of, but this is the fun part. Blending some colors together that don't really seem like they should be together. But see how it kind of makes that kind of pop? I love that. I love it. So big. So big. So now wait till we get to this one. I'm gonna let this dry and see what I think when it's all pulled together. This one is kind of peachy and green together. So let's start with the same color that we did down here on the second one, okay? So we'll do this peachy kind of underlying color first. But then we're gonna get in and we're gonna kind of lay into some green. All right, guys, so we're getting this light portion down at the top, just a little bit of that peachy color, I'm gonna add a little orange to that one, make it a little bit darker. Like I said, we're gonna do a base, right? I'm gonna do a little base of that peach color. And then we're gonna grab some greens in just a minute to kind of make it a cool color. And like I said at the beginning of the video, guys, like this, I am not a strict teacher. As you know, if you've painted with me before here at Luckee Studios, I am really about y'all creating whatever is gonna feel good to you. So like if you wanted this to be all white pumpkins, that would be perfectly cool. Or if you wanted to do a traditional all, and do you like how I'm like talking with my hands and so you guys cannot see my face? We are just trying all the new things. So, or you can do like traditional all the way orange, you could do orange. And last year we had a really cool one that with the pumpkin was all teal, which everybody loved that one. That one was super fun and really beautiful. So guys, you can always kind of kickstart in some of your own colors if you have a color scheme at home that you want to introduce into your pumpkin painting. Like if you're going to be using this for some decor, then I do suggest maybe hooking up maybe some accent colors, or maybe, I didn't like that black line. Could you tell that? I'm just gonna fill that in. Filling in some colors that maybe would match your home. So perhaps you use a lot of purples in your home. Like that doesn't really come to mind when you think about pumpkins, but guys, we're all friends here, right? We're gonna accept whatever colors that you pick for your pumpkin. Okay, so we've got this peachy color, right? So what I'm gonna do, if you have like a neon-y kind of green, a light green, then by all means use it. I'm gonna kind of give a little blending here, and I'm gonna grab a little yellow, a little green, and a little white, okay? So I'm gonna make this light green color. I'm gonna kind of go in here and see what I think first off, to see if I like the green that I made, which I don't know, guys, do you enjoy that? I think I did pretty good. And I'm just gonna kind of go in and give it a feel. See if I feel like, okay, so just some patches. Don't get too invested in covering too much. This one back here is going to be perfect because it's the one that's really the most damp with paint. So see how that changes it? It's so cute. Guys, I'm doing something again that you guys might not like that I do. And if you do not enjoy painting like this, please change your ways. I've been doing this too long and I can't change mine. So I did not clean my brush out there on that time, guys. Whenever I'm kind of blending similar things like this, I have a tendency, and I apologize because maybe I should not be teaching you guys to do this, but I want you to be a little daring, right? I want you to learn some, I want you to not be super fearful of what is going to happen here, okay? Because the worst thing that can happen, we make a muddy mess and it looks terrible and we let it dry and then we redo it. I mean, it could happen, but it's not likely. I just want you guys to experiment. Blending is such an experimentation for color. And see how I'm just like, I'm just gonna get in there. I'm just gonna get in there with my orange now. So what I'm kind of doing, let me break it down here real quick. We're doing the green, okay? So we have that light green that we're enjoying, that we created. Or if you have one at home that you enjoy, I want you to use that one, whatever, okay? And we just went in and we went over top that creamsicle color with that green that we made. And we kind of texturized this pumpkin. So now, instead of being a flat one shade, we've got a couple different colors. So we did that with each layer, okay? Down here, we did a mixture, orange, red, yellow. Up here we did the creamsicle, but we did add a little bit of teal to this one, okay? Then up here we did the creamsicle again, but then we really loaded up on some beautiful green colors here. Guys, honestly, I would love for you to play with different colors in this pumpkin patch. We go in here and grab a little more teal and just play around. It's fun. And see how it makes it so bright and very, very cool. Okay, so I'm really enjoying that. I think that looks great. It's where I wanted it to be. And again, like I always tell y'all, if you guys need a break or if you just need to catch up from where I am painting at, I want you to take a break. I want you to put me on pause and you can come back. All right, so right now I'm cleaning my brush. I'm grabbing some white, okay? And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make the stem white, okay? We're gonna go inside the black. If you need to get a small brush to kind of get in those tight spots, by all means, switch your brush. I'm gonna use this one for right this second. And we're gonna get in here. Our stem is going to be a whimsical white. Is that such a color? I just created it. Whimsical white. Guys, this is super fun. And of course, my stem left off the page and had a mind of its own, of course, as you very well can see, which is fun. Guys, honestly, I am loving working on the brown paper. Okay, so it's thicker. It's definitely thicker. And it definitely, it just really adheres well with this paint. So guys, if you want to, I'll hold this pad up when I'm done. I think that this is perfect to paint on as long as you don't get it super wet. I'm gonna throw that brush into my water and I'm gonna grab a mini brush. As long as you don't get it super wet, I think that this is like, would be really even beautiful just as is with no background and in a frame, to tell the truth. I think it looks super cool. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a little black on my brush that already had the white. I'm gonna kind of go in here and just do some ridges. You know how your pumpkin stem looks, right? It's got some ridges in there. Just want to make it a little more fun. We are going to do a background, however. I know that I said with this paper that I'm using, it would look cool. But I'm honestly going to tell you guys, I want to stick to what I said when I said that we would be doing this first and then giving y'all a background. Okay, I don't want you to think that I'm going to let you down, because we are going to do a background real quick, okay? So while I'm using the black, do you see these little holes that we left? These are little shadowy spots. This is kind of like a shadow between each pumpkin. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to paint in between each pumpkin. Do you guys say pumpkin or pumpkin? I think I say both, so you can probably catch me. So right in between each, to create kind of a shadow. You see how cool that looks? So it gets a little shadowy. And then down here as well, we still have a couple little holes to fill in. So we're gonna do that. Also kind of cleans up some edges if we need to with the black. I think this is like, so cute. All right, so now we've covered that one up. So that is super cool, loving it. Let's just grab a little white. We're gonna make sure that we've, we don't want it to look like they're not sitting on top of each other, right? So I'm gonna grab a little bit of white. See how we're just making these little humps here come alive and stand out. want to make sure our pumpkins are looking like they are connected, right? I think it looks super good. Super impressed with us today. I'm just gonna make just a little touch up there. What do you think? Good? We'll do a little bit here at the top as well. Just some little bit of white. And it kind of blends in with the black a little tiny bit, just to kind of give a little look. It makes them look a little shadowy. So I'm just going underneath each ridge and above each ridge, just lightly. All right, you see that? Oh, that is cool. All right, I'm happy. Okay, guys, so next up, I am gonna give you a quick background, okay? We can do anything. In the picture itself, the bottom, we have, it looks like it's sitting on a table. So we have black and from here to here. And then the back is kind of a mixture of gray. Guys, whatever you feel is gonna be your perfect background, I want you to do. Okay, so I'll probably do, let's do a dark, we'll do a dark bottom. If you need to, honestly, try to make sure that you can line this up though. Your table, if it's a table, is that what we're calling it? Okay. Or your patio, whatever. Try to line it up. And we're just gonna paint black. If you need to get that small brush in there to kind of go around your pumpkins so you don't lose anything, by all means, go ahead and do that, for sure. And we're just gonna go all the way to the bottom with it. Pretty simple. We're just kind of doing like the original. Maybe I'll change it up for the top part though. Let's get a little action here going first. If you guys don't feel comfortable using just the big brush to go around the pumpkins, I do suggest grabbing just a small brush. You can use the tiny one and see, just grabbing your paint and going in around each pumpkin. Might be a little bit easier for you than trying to manhandle that big brush, right? But either way, if you're feeling confident, feeling like you just want to get in there with it, that's fine too. Either way, I want you guys to be confident in your painting. That's why I always tell you to grab a couple different size brushes, because you never know, you know, when you're just gonna be like, I just don't feel like fooling with that big brush. You know what I'm saying? So how's that look? We lined that up pretty good for eyeballing it. All right, so what do you guys think? How am I feeling for the top half of this? Are you guys feeling any kind of way? I mean, it's gray, and I know, I mean, that looks good, but could we perhaps do a bluish gray? Maybe a little tealiness to it? Let's try it at the top. Don't get in a hubbub. Let's just give it the old college try real quick. If you enjoy the tealy color, what do you think, guys? Let me move it so you can see it. I mean, I put a little water in it, so it's a little, I don't want to say, oh, I do want to say translucent. Let's just mix it up. For your background color, I suggest grabbing whatever your heart desires, but I usually do. If it's a wall or something like that, that's kind of like, that it can just be anything, then I just suggest going for it. I grabbed some white. We'll add that in there too. Ah, guys, this is what I do. This is the fun part of doing these classes online, because if you guys are really like heck bent on doing things the exact way that the picture looked, I'm not really there for you to tell me that, no, we should probably do it exactly the way the picture looks. And again, if you need some help going around the pumpkin and grabbing those curvilicious little edges, grab your little brush, guys. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna be over here with this big guy. All right. I'll probably grab a little one to go around the stem because that's kind of gonna be a little bit of torture. Guys, honestly though, seriously, if you're contemplating and you're like looking at your painting, you're like, you know what? This painting is super good. My pumpkins are on point. And you just want to let well enough alone and have it be like a standalone just on the white. Or if you're maybe working on wood. So, I mean, guys, there's honestly so many things we can work on. So many things we could paint on. If you're painting on a piece of wood, maybe it's beautiful grain and you don't want to cover that up. Don't do it then. Hook it up and just focus on the beauty of what we've made here. And you guys don't even need a background. Sometimes I feel there's so many choices. And sometimes the choices just go super minimal, right? All right, so now I'm gonna grab my little teeny weeny brush. We're gonna go in here to the edges and just clean it up a little bit. Oh, I might've grabbed a little gray, oh wow. As I've been getting more and more into these classes with you guys, I feel like I become more and more like leading you down different roads of experimentation, which I feel is a good thing. Because, I mean, I want you guys to be able to explore what it feels like to go off on your own and just make your own decision. You don't have to follow the leader as far as, you know, what I'm doing or what I'm saying or what I'm telling you is the best. Because I'm just one person and, you know, what is pleasing to my eye. I mean, there's hundreds and thousands of you out there, right? How can I even tell you that what you've done is not exactly perfectly the exact way that it should have been done from your mind's eye? So I'm happy, I'm loving it. It's fantastic. I am seeing each and every one of you guys' pumpkin paintings in my mind right now, all with different colored pumpkins, all with beautiful or minimal backgrounds. And I'm enjoying every single one of them. Do you feel like this is so, I mean, my hope is that when we do these things together, and I say it together because I feel like even though I'm recording them by my lonesome, that I do feel like a camaraderie with you guys, and I feel like I'm there with you and we're enjoying this time together. But I also feel like, you know, don't you feel like it's got a meditative quality? I mean, I really do. I feel good about it. All right, so here's our pumpkins. I am glad that I chose that background. It lightens it up so much. I'm gonna clean my brush out from that, guys. And next I'm gonna grab a little black. We're just gonna go up here around. Now watch this. You're gonna enjoy it. We're just gonna add some little whimsical. Now guys, practice these swirlies. If you have a paper handy, I've gotten this a lot. Like with swirly stuff. I mean, and is swirly really a technical name? I don't even know. This is like some viney stuff, okay? Viney, swirly, pumpkin-y. I mean, you know, you've seen this all before. I came down on that one. Did you see that? I am just really taking some chances here, guys. And I hope you do too. Let's make some beautiful things together. Make some swirls. I'm enjoying that. I like that. You can make small, minis, big ones. I'm gonna clean my brush again. And I'm just gonna grab some of my orange, and you know what? We're just gonna put some little, I don't even know what this is. I think it's just to make it look cool, okay? Clean my brush again, grab a few dots of white. You know, it's just some fun stuff. I mean, because it's not like pumpkin berries or anything like that. It's just fun, just cool and fun. Put them a little, you know, some shading and whatnot. I just, you know, we could keep going for hours and hours and hours and keep shading and keep filling in. And that's what I hope you do. I hope that you guys enjoy the process so much that you just don't want it to end and you can keep going. Because honestly, when you have something like this with a blending situation, you could just keep going. You could make some vines down here. You can make all kinds of things going on here. But honestly, I think I've hit my max on this one. I'm loving it. I'm actually really in love with it, and in love with it on the brown paper. Guys, another fantastic and fun job. Well done. Let me turn my little cam over here. Guys, I hope you had a blast, because I did. Fantastic, fun, pumpkin painting palooza. We'll call it that, yeah. Guys, we have so many classes online, so many coming at you for the upcoming months. Please check us out. Please, if you enjoyed this painting, let us know. Give us your opinion. Let us know if there's something that you would love to paint, and we will get on it. We'll research and we'll get something great. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this pumpkin painting today as much as I did, and I hope that we paint again soon. Bye.